Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the technical trader at techtrader.com. These are the charts for the day. It's Tuesday, November the 17th. Interesting day in the market, up in the morning, down in the afternoon. Kind of a consolidation day. At the end of the day, there were still a lot of stocks that we followed that did well. Let's take a look at some of them. EBIX has run from the late September lows in the 24 range all the way up to 37.65 today. Now that's almost equal to the highs we saw in May. You can get through here, and there was a pop of 173 or almost 5%, 565,000 shares. But more importantly, when I look at the unbalanced volume line in here, this is trending sharply higher and near the highs in May. We could see the stock move forward and maybe make a move into the low 40s. That's my next target, 42-ish. Long term, there's a lot to be dealt with here. You can see the complexity of the structure, but really long back, we got a really, really beautiful long-term chart. Now, the problem is that the underlying technicals on a long-term basis don't look as good as they do short-term, and we've had a nice run-up as well. Keep an eye on support, which right now appears to be on yesterday's pullback low at about 33. Anything below that would be stop. Anything above today's high about 37.65, and we can get it to 42 on momentum alone. 37.84 days to cover. Huge. Big squeeze going on. Globant, one of our swing trades, doing well. Obviously, when it broke out and popped and then pulled back and consolidated for the last 3.5 weeks, we were a little bit, I guess annoyed, impatient, but patience is a virtue. Look at the long-term chart pattern here, there, and there with the mid-channel target. We're approaching that at 39. I suspect we get there tomorrow. 39.40 is my next target, but if we get through that, we could see 43.44 range. IDTI, the swing trade, which consolidated for the last couple of weeks, today appears to move up to resistance. Could very well pop and run near 29.5, 30, my next target. Longer term, you can see the pattern does call for that. There are 2.7 days to cover, and the stock jumped a couple percent today. Maybe they're going to make a move. The OBV looks great. Volume's picking up. I'm looking for more upside. LOXO, thinly traded, but with 5.6 days to cover and volume picking up on it, we could very well get this to pop. Now the move across resistance and then a consolidation of both moving averages, followed with a pop and little consolidation here. Today popped back out again. I'm looking for a short-term rise to get it up to about 36. That's my near-term target, 35, 36. Mattel, we put a swing on it today. I'm disappointed with the close. The stock exploded up to 26 and change and pulled back to 24.71. Still up 93 cents or about 4%. A whopping 18.2 million. I haven't seen this trade since April when the stock was running. Now it does look like a kind of a bottoming pattern. Let's call it a head and shoulders. If you want to look at it this way, you can say, well, maybe it's got this angle of ascent, and it's got a juxtaposition of resistance in here, but it did break through the major declining tops line here. You can get it up in that range. I think the next target could very well be somewhere around a run at 27.25, and then through that, we're looking at 30 plus. Long term, the major declining top line has been broken. Volume coming in. 11 days to cover could fuel the fire. This looks pretty interesting. Again, the angle of ascent looks like this upsloping head and shoulders type pattern. The move here could get you to 30. NBIX been on our swing trade for a while. I love the way this is looking since the double bottom here in September, around the 33.5, 3/4 range. Since then, it's been up more than 20 points and getting up near the resistance highs up in that range. Today, it actually stuck its head above it, jumping 235 or 4.5%. There's 3 days to cover. We could see a further squeeze. I wouldn't be shocked to see 60, 62 short term. Nuance, big move today. With 3.7 days to cover, the stock jumped 316 or 18.5%, exploded with a breakaway gap above a triple top and took out secondary resistance as well. Looking at a longer term pattern, big base pattern perhaps, we moved up near the top of that range, but if it does accelerate, a run up to the highs of spring of 2013, 2.5 years ago, could take place, and that would call for a move to near 23. So that's my short-term target, and then 25.6. OME continues to thrust. It was up another 3% today, 3.7 days to cover as well. It's at the top of the channel. It has had 5 waves. I am more skeptical about the pattern other than its momentum, meaning that it's overextended and may pull back and consolidate, but eventually momentum and my target is in the mid-30s. PACB, is this about to pop? Well, it hasn't picked up the volume yet, but the OBV is moving up steadily. The moving averages have crossed over and are moving up. You can see the consolidation that's taken place for about 6 weeks now, 5 weeks. The bottom line is if it gets up through that zone up here, through this area, it could be exploding them to the 10-12 zone. And by the way, yeah, 3.3 days to cover. PTCT, now the declining top line appears to have been taken out, so has two of the moving averages, and next resistance would be a test at 35.75 and up to 37.5 where the 50-day moving average comes in. But I think this stock has the guns to get to 42. That's my secondary target. See the breakout today? That's a key one, above the 50. Ring Central, well, a beautiful long-term pattern from 10 to 22 over the last year and a half, year or so. This is the big pop, breakout, pullback, retest, and hold. And then today, spiking 106 or 5% on 1,000,004. I think we're going to test, maybe take out 23.5 and head up towards 25.5. SCL's been on my watch list for a while because of what looks like a long base pattern developed over the last couple months, multi-week pattern. It broke out, it pulled back and held it, and today popped on an inside day, up 567 or almost 6%. If it gets above 104, I think we got a stock that's going to head towards this high here in the 115.20 range, and then maybe much more. We shall see, but if oil goes down, and this is 1, 2, 3, and 4, I think the fifth wave could take this monster all the way up into the high 100s, maybe more. TSEM, well, the breakout on this swing trade took place 2-3 days ago. It's consolidated for 3 days on low volume. So I have to pick it back up again. It gapped a little bit. It ran up 43 cents or almost 3% on $500,000. Not quite what I want to see, but I'm still looking for a test and maybe take out of 17. That's my next target. It's followed by 18.5 thereabout. Nice little bottoming pattern, right hand extended V. 4.3 days to cover. Moving averages have crossed over and moving up. All systems go on this one. And Boozy, this is a neat little company, very thinly traded, but 235,000 was the biggest volume since July, as you can see. It may be about to emerge. Watch the 550-60 zone. It closed right there today. It's now potentially going to make a move that takes it up towards 7.5, maybe 8. That's my near-term target. And YNDX, this Russian-based company, after coming way down from its highs up in the high 40s, and a multiple 5-wave move down, appears to have double bottomed, based and broke out, and now platformed in terms of a falling wedge. Today, the gap up of 6% may be the trigger that's going to get this to 19 and then 22. Those are my targets on Yandex. Lastly, ZEN. Geo pointed this out today. I liked it a lot. I put it out as a swing trade. I believe since the IPO and early pop here, it took near about a year to consolidate, form a big basin here, and it's moving up. Now, the resistance here is what I'm going to need to be taken out. 24.70 or thereabout could get you 27.5, 28. That's my target once he gets going. This consolidation here had a nice session today, up $1 or 4.3%. There's 8.2 days to cover, and that could trigger the move. On a measured move basis, about a 5-point move from here gets me to about 27. So that's going to be my near-term target, 27.5, should it break out. And that's it for tonight, folks. HP says, see you later, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.